While my journey from a small town in northwest Arkansas to working at the intersection of US-China cultural relations may have begun with an early childhood love of Chinese martial arts, it was truly paved by my decision to study the Chinese language later on in adolescence. I was fortunate that my first Chinese language teacher, Li Qingming, emphasized classical Chinese poetry, memorization, and recitation even from an early age, which continued to develop into my current research and teaching interests today. I studied abroad at Beijing University in the early mid-90s and later received an undergraduate degree in Chinese from UC Berkeley, and later graduate degrees focused on critical comparative studies. Even in my youth, I was fascinated by the disparities between the English and Chinese languages and how thinkers from both cultures dedicated their lives to bridging this gap to better convey profound and meaningful information between them. As a scholar of translation studies and comparative literature, I've delved into understanding these historical efforts to not only shed light on the linguistic, cultural, philosophical, political, and even technological barriers hindering information flow between the world's two most spoken languages, but I've also strived to improve upon these as well. While at OU, I've collaborated with others to launch an academic journal and a book series, founded the Chinese Literature Translation Archive, new Chinese-English learning apps, and conceptual art installations that explore new ways of combining our languages, and an institute that awards 2 international prizes to outstanding Chinese authors and poets, as well as to students around the globe who master the art of classical Chinese poetry composition in English. Over the years, this work has evolved into forms of cultural diplomacy, fostering connections between the US and China through both formal and informal channels. As tensions between our nations escalate, cultural diplomacy becomes increasingly crucial, fostering the mutual trust essential for addressing the most pressing global issues of our time. There are more reasons today to study China than ever before, and I eagerly anticipate delving into these issues with you in our classes and other programs.